Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Secret to Success podcast. We strive to bring you the top leaders in their industries so you can learn their secrets to success, so you can grow and build your businesses, be prosperous, and live the dreams that you are so looking to live. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at info@theatsjr.com for more information about the ATSJR companies and to find out more about how to live your dreams and reach that middle class exit and live the life that you were supposed to live. Freedom is abundance and abundance is freedom. Let's all go live it. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Secret to Success podcast.
Good morning to all of you. Go ahead, Deanna Stuntman in the programs. All of you. Appreciate you for being here. And as always, we've got a whole bunch of good stuff that we're going to cover here around the world. I had to move. That light was so bright on the whiteboard. I had to move. Can you have my phone, sir? I sure appreciate you. Today, it looks like it says it's another ad spot I must have missed. If you can let me know. All right, let's have us a good round of applause and stuff for absolutely no reason. Come on, show me some love. Show me some love. Good. I appreciate it. Now, let us enter in the realm of prosperity. We all want to feel like Jerome and Law look, right? That's what we want to do. Yes. You know, you're bad. You in Brooklyn with an umbrella. Yes, you know, that ain't too easy to pull off. You understand. First things first, in exactly 59 minutes, my $2 billion friend will be teaching real estate. Who's excited about that? Yes. It will be an opportunity for you to ask questions, for you to listen. My advice to you is to take notes. But let me say what I really want to say. When I first started doing real estate, it was 2008. I didn't buy my first property until 2009. It's not that it took me a year. It's more so I was taking as many notes as possible. Here's the good thing about real estate. If you take notes, those notes will last forever. The laws will change, but those notes will last forever. Okay? The only thing that changes about real estate is two things. Rents continue to go up and laws continue to change. That's the only two things that change. Anything else is whatever.
Values go up too.
Oh, well, no doubt. No doubt. Values definitely go up. And the truth is they never go down. Even when they go down, they're not down. Okay? They're not down. That's part of the economy stuff. But if you're buying and holding and you got a lot to hold, you're doing a very good job. Let me just tell you. If you don't believe that, well, then ask Phil how much it costed him to rent an apartment when he was 20. And then ask him how much that same apartment costs today. Rents do not go down. They always go up. My very strong advice to you, ladies and gentlemen, is take as many good notes as possible. If you have someone that you love, invite them. You're more than welcome. If you can't make it, I'm trying to talk to all of you, the middle class folk with all that damn pride. If you can't make it, show up anyway, and then leave, and then ask for the replay. See what I just did? Right? You see what I just did? Like, do something to have yourself available for the blessings. It's not too many times that someone is $2 billion is going to lend his or her time to give you real estate knowledge. As of course, as is the custom with ATS, he's going to give away everything. You ain't got to worry about that. Nobody comes in here without that custom. Okay, he's going to give away everything. Now, are there any questions for me before I move on to the next thing concerning this? Any questions? No questions. Are y'all excited? Did we make a good decision? We did make a good decision. Outstanding. All right. Steve say, if I got a screen record, Antonio, I'm getting that information. Okay. Listen, real estate works across the world. Across the world, it is 90% of my wealth is now in real estate. I was on the phone yesterday with Grace Holden, actually. Yeah, I was on the phone yesterday with someone. If she's not a millionaire, she's right under it. She's something like that. Okay. And she has nothing in real estate and was asking me about real estate and stuff like that. Fantastic lady. And she calls it dirt. She said, I need to give you some dirt. And she was asking me about the real estate because she knows that I do this in my sleep. I want to tell you all something. We all know that 1% of the world controls 90% of the world's income. So this is what I want to show you. I'm going to show you my whiteboard real quick. If you're on the phone, no worries. I'm going to explain this audibly as well. So I drew a circle. It's not 360 degrees, but it's circle-like. So we're going to make it work. And in this circle, we know if I split it in half, that is pretty much 50%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little sliver here and then come up like that. Basically, and all this is shaded. We're just going to make that shaded, okay, y'all? This is shaded. Actually, I should have done that opposite way. Actually, use my brain for a second. My Aunt Lucy would say, use your brain for more than a hat rack. I should probably just shade the 10%, shouldn't I? I mean, the 1%, okay? So here I have an inflated 1% shaded in. And this 1% controls this whole pie. Everybody got that? Easy. Now, have you ever seen a map of America or someplace and the city the state is so small, they put the little line here and it points to that and they write, Connecticut or something, right there, something like that? Okay. Inside this 1%, so this is 1%. Inside this 1%, there is a 90%. And 90% of this 1% have real estate. Simple as that. Simple as that. 1% of the world controls 90% of the world's income, but there's a whole 90% in that 1%. Their wealth is in real estate. Unpopular fact, and I want all of you to write this down. Businesses will never make you rich. Most of y'all keep trying to get rich from business because you think business got you rich or business got them rich. That is not the way it works. Unpopular fact again, if you want to be rich, don't get a job. I'm going to explain both. Businesses will never make you rich. They are vehicles. And what you're supposed to do, a vehicle is an entity of some sorts, depends. And it's just the container that pushes out money. A vehicle is just a container that pushes out money. You don't want to push out money. You don't want to earn money. You want a vehicle that says, Steve, I'm so glad you're back. Here's some money. Okay. What I'm doing right now is I'm having a top 1% talk. And I'm attempting to take it to where everyone can understand. But if you have a question, feel free to interrupt. But you won't be interrupted. Feel free to chime in and ask your question because they do not teach you this in school. They did not teach you this in school. Let's try to. I didn't say unpopular opinion. I said unpopular fact. Businesses do not make you rich. I've never told you that. That's not what I said. And Tony, that's a lie. Elon Musk has the #1 car company in the world. He's like top 3 billionaires. Yeah, because he has stock. Rewind, press play. It is not Tesla that made Elon Musk that billionaire. It is how many shares he has in Tesla. Go ahead, Deanna.
So what's the difference between shares and equity?
Shares are a form of equity. Okay, shares are a form of equity. Equity, think more of equity as private. Think more of shares as public. Now I'm giving you layman's terms here. Yes, go ahead. She got another question. Hold on. Let me finish this, so because I want to keep everybody up. Am I making sense? Yeah. Okay. She's glad I'm making it make sense. But you can still have equity in a publicly traded company. Okay? Equity is that on a whole. Yes, equity means that whoever has equity in whatever publicly traded company, when that company sells, they own a piece of the entire company. Therefore, if the company sells for $1 billion and they have, let's just do easy math, 1% equity, what's 1% of $1 billion, Grace? She's not meaning.
You said $1 billion, 10 million.
That means they automatically get $10 million cash. You understand? That's regardless of the stocks they have. So if they have 1% equity plus they own stocks, then they will also get to either sell or keep those stocks as well. They're two different things. Okay. Shares are people like Shaker and Law that own a piece of or a share piece of the company. Okay. It's the company being arbitrarily divided, and you can own whole shares or pieces of shares. It just depends on how you invest it. Let me get Nikki first, then you, Deanna. Go ahead, Nikki. I know that's right. Is Nikki still there?
Oh,
there you go.
So what I was saying is that I'm sorry. So basically, what you were saying was that in the shares portion, when you were saying that, oh God, I lost my thought real quick. So even though the company sells off, or if as the company holder decides to sell, he still will have some type of connection with the company money wise, right?
Absolutely.
When you do the share portions of it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
So let's take. So you're. Let me say what you just said. I'm gonna put it in your language with daycare, because you've been a daycare.
I don't own a
Child
daycare.
care.
I don't own a daycare. Child care is what I do. Thank you.
My bad. But child care, right? So
Right.
we'll speak that language. So you have a child care company, and that child care company is $100,000.
Right.
That's how much cash flow you're bringing in. Well, your
Right.
child care company is not $100,000 company. So
No.
now what we have to do is we have to put a multiplier on it.
Okay.
So if Nikki wanted to sell her child care company, she better not sell it for $100,000.
Not at all.
Because the moment I buy it, I also get $100,000 in cash flow.
Right.
You see the problem? The problem is for $100,000, I'm getting my money back immediately. Okay. While that's 100% return on investment, which is fantastic for me, it is terrible for the seller.
Okay. So what is the look? What is the look of that $100,000 move? So
it's called a multiplier. So what you have to do is you have to know that every year that this person keeps this child care company, every year they get $100,000.
Okay.
So she's going to put a multiplier on that child care company. She's going to say, well, I will sell it to you for the cash flow with a 7x multiplier or 4x multiplier. That means I'm going to give you $100,000. I mean, I'm going to sell it to you for $100,000 times 4, which is $400,000.
Okay.
The reason she's doing this because she's saying, because if I stay here another 4 years, I'm going to get $400,000. So you're going to buy from me this company plus the extra 4 years that I could have kept it. You giving me back 4 years of my time.
Okay, so when you so basically that's how you're consistently being able to keep your flow with the company itself instead of losing the value to the company all at once?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because if you sell, you don't want to listen. Nothing. Thank you, Nikki. This is why I'm trying to break this down to y'all about this. Business don't make you rich. Selling that time makes you rich.
Right.
I made this $100,000. Nah, you want this company, you better pay $700,000. Is that a good bet? Yeah, sure. I mean, I would probably do it for 5x. That means in 5 years, this person gets 100% return on investment. Okay.
Because they're also drawing interest. They're also drawing the interest off of it too, right?
Well, yeah. Yes, the interest is in this case is understood as the $100,000. That's the cash flow. So the interest would be they can then go to the bank and get far more than that. So yes, you're absolutely correct.
I'm just asking that question in that fashion because I know I have some people that don't understand what you're saying. I get it clearly, but there are some people that's not understanding. So I'm just trying to make it plain as a 5-year-old.
I sure appreciate you because I don't always make the complaint. Yeah, without a doubt. So y'all check me out. Unpopular fact. Business. What I'm doing for you right now is I'm prepping you for a billionaire to talk to you. Is that fair, Jerry? Is this what I'm trying to do? Okay, because we gonna. The first thing I'm telling you is don't hold back. Give away all the information. He already knows what's up. But I'm trying to prep you for some stuff. I'm also giving you. Actually, you would never learn this in the MBA. Maybe that multiplies stuff, but MBA is all that crap is garbage. Accounting is garbage. MBA is garbage. It's all garbage. It's all garbage because it's all outdated. It's all garbage. Most of these people don't know anything about business. They know stuff about school. School is not business. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know anything about business until you lose in business. Straight up. Please know that Phil has been in business. Susan has been in business long enough to have had the conversation. Babe, I don't know what we're going to do in 30 days. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they know business. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, if you're a male and I'm talking to you, I'm asking you, have you ever been kicked down into lower regions? And almost everybody says yes. I said, can you put that into words? And people go, no. If they're a woman, I ask, have you ever had a child? And they go, yeah. Can you put that into words? And they go, no. The same thing about owning your own business. Unless you've owned your own business, you can't put it into words what it's like to have it.
Very well said. No, that's all right. Go ahead, Susan.
Yes, I'm just saying, if I would have known what you are saying now, when I was in my 20s, when I was on Cape Cod, my uncle was the largest real estate agency in Falmouth, Mass, which is one of the biggest areas right next to Hyannisport. All these years from the early 60s through now. And so he was trying to get me into his real estate. He had a real estate office that was kind of at the corner of where Hyannisport and Falmouth, the fork in the road. And then he had a big home that was the main real estate. But that fork in the road one is where Jackie O and Caroline Kennedy stopped to ask if they could use the restroom instead of going to the filling station nearby. That's just a little side story. But the home that he had, where it was multi-million-dollar home. I lived in the top level. It was like 5 levels. I had a whole apartment that was beautiful on the top, but he tried, and I'm working the job that I had, going into work every day. How could I do real estate? I didn't listen to him. And that's why the story is, listen to this, and no matter what our age, I'm listening myself now, because it's never too late.
Never. Y'all heard Susan? Because listen, I am not where I'm at because I'm good at business. I am where I'm at because every dollar that comes from business, I reinvest it back into infrastructure to get bigger, more dollars. Then I take those bigger, more dollars and I put it in real estate. Everything I do is for real estate. Everything. Y'all got that? Go ahead, Nikki. Susan, you want to say something else? Come on, that's it, man. Go ahead, Nikki.
So when you made the suggestion of when you made the statement about the one shares within the company, can you explain that out about shares? Somebody asked about shares. So can you explain about how you do division of shares, and what does that mean for an individual who may have one share within an organization? So basically, you hear a lot of times people saying, like in childcare, I will give you a half a share or a share into the company. So can you explain that?
Yeah, sure. So how you do shares is completely arbitrary. Arbitrary means this is what I feel like doing. Okay. This is, hey, I'm the man, boom, I'm the woman, this is what it is. Now, that arbitrariness has a value assigned to it. Everybody got it? So now you get that value assigned to this arbitrary thing that you just did. In order to have shares, you have to then have the value of each share. Did I lose anybody? Because each arbitrary division will have a value assigned to it.
I guess really, if you can give the definition of a share, because I think that's where everyone is really pretty much probably more than likely lost.
Okay, a share is, I'll give you a simple definition, a piece of the company that has money assigned to it, future money assigned to it should you sell. Okay, that's what that is. That is money in escrow. Escrow means set aside somewhere. There you go. Everybody got it? So a share is future money should you sell. It could be you sell or the company sell. And it's a lot of money should the company do well or you leave. Okay? It's a lot of money. Now, each individual share is assigned a value. Give you a great example of how Netflix started. You can find this in the book from the first CEO of Netflix, Mark something. Find his name for me. And the name of the book is called This Won't Work. Okay, This Won't Work, and it's at the beginning of the book. Reed Hastings, who is the CEO now, was the first shareholder, the investor. And what they did was they gave him $2 million worth of shares. And then gave the other founder something like, I forget what it was, the exact numbers. It was half of that or a quarter of that or something, which made Reed the principal owner, but the other, you can share it on your screen. And Mark Randolph, she just gave me the name, was the CEO. Just because you're the CEO don't mean you own most of the company. Help me somebody.
Talk about that, sir.
All right. Okay. Bill Gates doesn't have to be the CEO of Microsoft anymore because he still owns most of the shares. You understand? All right. So that's the book right there that I'm quoting and getting this stuff from. You can stop it. I appreciate you. But CEO still puts you in a money position. A share, if I own most of the shares, I also have most of the control. Money equals control. Yes.
Okay, so you actually came right back around to my question. So it's better for me to, so shareholders can actually take control of a company.
You never take control of mine or Mark Zuckerberg or anybody with common sense. Shareholders can take control of a company should they band together, because shareholding is ownership of that company. Hold on. But a savvy CEO will own more shares than what can be owned against him or her. You understand? Okay, go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, it's not really shares, it's really percentage.
Absolutely.
If you own 51% or more, you've got complete control. If you have them 49% or less, you've got no control. You just have to, hopefully everything works out. So it's the majority of the stock that makes it, the control comes from.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I got that. Yes. Go ahead, Yana.
So is that why a lot of companies do not become publicly traded for that reason?
You know what? That used to be the case, but that's not the case no more. Y'all live in a candy world which nobody knows how to make money anymore. Now everybody's trying to go public. Everybody's going public without making a profit. Like literally what y'all know as business now, but the reason what makes ATS so profitable and why people keep flocking here, because I'm actually teaching you how to make money. There is no class on venture capitalism in here. I could teach it to you, but forget that, because that's money that's money in which you're also giving away control. And I'm the main person telling you control these 6 areas. I ain't never taught Steve to go get a loan and to go, no, you understand? Because most of the companies y'all look up to today, they've never recorded a single profit. That's why you didn't get your paycheck protection program, because these companies got it because they ain't got no money. You understand? So basically what's happening now, and I tell you, it's been happening since about 99, since the internet bubble, that whole .com boom and burst of the bubble, it's still been happening there. Snapchat never had a profit. Twitter, not a profitable company. Netflix is $25 billion in debt right now. All these companies that y'all love, in Uber, never recorded
Amazon
a profit.
just started to turn a profit.
Amazon just started to turn a profit. Yeah. But would they be profitable if they wasn't benefited from favorable tax laws? Probably not. Probably not. Right? Amazon just did not trillion. Yeah, I think it was trillion. No, billion. Whatever. Without paying a dime in taxes. Right? No disrespect to them. I'm just telling you what's going on. So you got a good question there, Deanna, because your question comes from a place of, yeah, should we go? Is this the way to make money? It is. But that money ain't guaranteed, y'all. Okay? Listen to me. Listen to me very well. It's far better for y'all to focus on real cash flow. Because if you got real cash flow, then you can choose to go public if you feel like it, not because you have to. You understand what I'm saying? Because since we're not public, and since I don't have no investors, I get to run this company the way I choose. I get to say, oh, we're going to take this money and end world hunger. Can't nobody argue with me on this. You can't argue with me on this. We're going to just randomly pay student loan debts. Oh, yeah, man, sure can. Yeah. You can't argue with me on that because I don't have a board to answer to. The moment I have a board to answer to, there's going to be some bean counter with my alpha type personality. It's going to say, well, you know, Antonio, that's a little bit too much. We should curtail those efforts. You know, maybe not give away 50% revenues. Maybe. Hey, do you understand? Do you understand the logic of me giving away 50% of the revenue? Not profit, but the revenue. The revenue. That would never happen in a publicly traded company or any company in which you have to answer to a board. So I want you to focus on something. Focus more on cash flow. Is VC okay? Yes. Am I speaking against this stuff? No. But I am telling you, as a practical person, cash flow is freedom. Okay. Now, if you can figure out how to get all the VC money, get a big, massive check, and then turn that massive check into cash flow, then congratulations. It's a lot easier to do what I'm saying with a $100 million check than to do what I'm saying from scratch. So if you can figure out how to hurry up and get a $100 million check, then go ahead. Because 100% of nothing is nothing. Okay. If you can figure out how to get 10% of your profit, and it's a big profit, then you can turn that 10% into big cash flow. You'll be just fine. But if you can't figure that out, let's just go with cash flow freedom. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay, so you said a lot there. Can you explain what it is when you're talking about the actual public trading, the going public trading?
Yeah, no doubt. So
this is good information.
Thank you very
much.
much.
And I know somebody's sitting there like, man, what are you talking about? So that's why I keep asking.
Deanna just said, tell her what you just said while Nikki was talking.
I told him, I said, this is a wonderful topic this morning because it's helping me out, because I've always wanted to know the difference between, you know, going public or keeping your company a privately owned company, but also wanting to understand shares and equity and things like that, because in business you want to know these things. If we're coaching and helping, I want to be able to somebody say, well, hey, you know, should I sell my company? And if I sell my company, or, you know, should I give this many shares away? Now, I knew the whole 49, 51% thing. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
But all the extra, I didn't know that. So I'm grateful for this lesson this morning, because I learned something new every day from Antonio. I tell you.
Right.
So thank you.
No doubt. So Nikki, let me repeat real quick. I want to make sure I got your question, because it was a fantastic one. You want me to explain the process of selling shares and stocks?
Well, just basically, I guess we'll do it a two-part question.
Cool.
What is actually shares public and private? And then what is actually trading with shares?
Okay, no doubt.
And there's a book that I learned this from, Shares for Dummies.
Okay,
That's
sweet.
A good book.
Okay, good stuff.
Good book.
Didn't know that.
Shares for Dummies.
Didn't know that. The truth is, there's no difference
for
between
dummies too.
I didn't know that. Good. See, shares for dummies and trading for dummies. Truth is, there's no difference between shares, private or public. There's still shares. Okay, there's no difference. Public allows you to get more people to buy pieces of your company, which gives you more money. It's easier to get richer from 100 million people than 200 employees. Y'all see the difference? A credit union is a bank in which the employees have shares. We're just going to use this example. Like, that's 200 people, and they kind of own that thing. That's why it works a little different. But then they use the public to then bring all the money in. And that's kind of like public shares. That's a good example, but it's not when I'm actually inflating the truth here, but I'm showing you an illustration. I'm showing you a difference between private and public. 200 employees saying, all right, now whole Galveston County, bring us all your money. That's the difference between public Galveston County and the 200 employees. Actually, probably 20 employees who started the bank or something like that. Get it? But the shares are still the same. Public or private, shares are shares. Now, Nikki had a fantastic second question, nuance in there, that I'm about to knock the meat off the bones of this question. Money doesn't exist.
Not the meat off, sir. Not the meat off.
Money doesn't exist. So the moment that Phil says, I have this many shares, and there it is. There it is. That's what Phil has. On paper, Phil is a millionaire. Y'all understand? Now, what Phil has to do is either trust himself or me or somebody to then make that $1 million real. This is the hard part. This is the hard part. The truth is, y'all, no one knows how to make money anymore. What they're doing is there's a culture that has spread across us for quite some time. And what we've learned how to do is use people or labor forces to bring in money. That's not making money. That's a good way to make money if you're in control, but that's not actually making money. Making money is opening up your private meetings public and then teaching Sugar how to actually make money. And then learning business, sales, marketing, and then actually having cash flow that flows into your business. I don't know if y'all know, but there's not an hour in the ATS company that there's not a check coming in. There's not an hour of a day that we have not got an email of some money coming in. That's making money. Okay. Now, thank you, Nikki. The reason why, well, let me finish this here. So basically, I can say, here's $1 million, Phil, and it will be. But now what I have to do is either sell the company to a point to where when the cash comes in, I divide his shares and it equals $1 million. Actually, no, there's no other way. That's the way. Like that's the way. Okay. Can you hear me? All right, just want to make sure I didn't break my headphones. That's pretty much the way. If I'm going public, I have to I really got to sell. It's like that's really what I have to do is get an infusion of cash so big that all those shares, those promised shares, can be cashed out. That's basically what has to happen. Whether I sell or get an investor, or this is what happens all the time. The most common way is a round of funding. You hear it all the time. In order for Phil's money to actually be money, I have to go do a round of funding. Have y'all heard that? We got A round, B round, first round. I got to do a round of funding. And once that funding comes in, now I've got cash. And I use that cash as operational expenses. And part of the operational expenses is to say, okay, here's your shares that you want to cash out. I've got that, earmarked to do this. Plus I can run the company plus this, and that, which is good because cash is a good reserve. Cash works in two ways, y'all. Write this down. This cash only has two purposes. Only two purposes. It is a medium of exchange, number one, and a storehouse of wealth, number two. It's the only two things cash does. It doesn't do anything else. It's a storehouse of wealth. It does sound good, doesn't it? It sounds like it should be in the Quran or something. It's a storehouse of wealth. No, but that's the only two things that cash does as far as universal in this world. Okay, go ahead, Phil, then Sugar, then Nikki.
Another good thing about cash, it's accepted at so many places.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
And
especially
and then the challenge once you go public, what makes the stock go up any day is more people want to buy it than want to sell it. What makes it go down any day is more people want to sell it than want to buy it. That's it. There is no other reason why a stock goes up or down. So when you go public, you're putting yourself at risk of law of supply and demand.
Absolutely. And so many different. The president can affect your stock. I can make Elon Musk smoked weed on the Joe Rogan podcast, which actually was fantastic, by the way. But anyway. And the next day, the stock dropped 9%, which equaled $4.3 billion. See, I ain't got time for that now. Now I'm not a smoker. I'm a drinker. But if I choose to smoke, don't with my money. This is why I'm just trying to make some sense to some of y'all. Like, let me have my habits without messing up my employees. That makes sense. You ain't gotta like it, but that makes some plain old sense. I want to drink my little yak, get into my little car accident, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever, without saying, sorry, Phil, your stocks they're bankrupt now. That's what Phil is talking about, that whole supply and demand. Because I could do something that scares everybody, and now more people want to sell than buy. And what does that do for Phil? His stock go down. Just as simple as that. Okay. All right, Sugar. Then Nikki.
You kind of touched on what I was going to ask. So if you've made all of these investments in the stocks and the company goes bankrupt, then all that money that you've invested in that company is wiped out, is gone. You can't retrieve any of it, or is there a safety catch in there some kind of way? I've taken all my Social Security, I've taken all the stuff I have in my accounts and my savings, and I've put it all into this, and then you belly up, say 2 years later.
Okay, you have a super fantastic question that has many answers. I know that's right. It has many answers that I have to give you. They're all one answer, but I'm going deeper each time I answer. For one, if you are a person of color and you go and you get money, you better keep it. Because they ain't letting you get it again. Let me just go ahead and keep it real with y'all. Okay? They ain't letting you get it again. So you better keep it.
Amen.
Now, I'm trying to tell you. Now, if you're not a person of color, you can go bankrupt 3, 4, 5 times. But y'all ain't never seen someone as chocolatey as me went bankrupt 3, 4, 5 times.
Not at all.
Okay, let's just keep it real now. Let's account for the system. That's number one. That's part of your question, but you brought up the bankrupt first. The second part of your question is, bankrupt is actually a good thing if I'm buying. Yes, I actually want to buy your bankrupt company. I'm doing that now. As a matter of fact, I damn near pray for economic disruptions because instead of buying your company for a whole dollar, I'm buying for 10 cents. You understand? Okay, she over there excited. So now what you see, Sugar, is your company, my money is minuscule in your company until the economic correction happens, and then my dime becomes $50. Woof. I can't even tell you the return on investment that way because I can't do the math on it. It's too much. But basically, somebody asked about it if you put $1 in the stock. If I had $1 in Apple and 80 something, at $1 would probably be $150,000 today from $1. So you see the power in bankruptcy. Now, from the employee side or the investor side, what she was saying, I'm an employee and I invested. I'm a small person invested. If the company goes bankrupt, I'm going to have to draw this now, okay? If you're on the thing, if you're on audio, I'm going to explain it. We're going to have this line here. This is the break even line is what we're going to call that. Okay. There's no such thing as break even in the real world, but we're going to deal with it for right now. This is the break even line. Sugar she buys a stock for $9 a share. Now today it drops to, she said, bankrupt. Zero ain't bankrupt. That is bankrupt. We're going to go, I'm losing money. I'm at negative $2 a share. Sugar is going to panic, obviously, because she's going to see negative $2 loss. It's going and of course, when she goes into her little system, Jerry, it's going to be red as hell. Right? It's going to be like, you know how they do the little graphics? It's going to be super red and bolded. And she's going to go, oh my God, right? And all that stuff. However, Sugar, that doesn't mean, and this is the last part of your question, that doesn't mean that you're in a bad position. Because if you know the company or the CEO, whatever, or it's a correction, it's a disruption or correction or economic correction, whatever them, it's so many different circumstances. If you know that one day this stock will get to $17, and please know that will happen. Actually, let me give you a real example. This stock is going to start off at 9. It's going to start off at 17. In 30 days, 60 days, it's going to drop to 9. Everyone's going to talk about, say, this isn't going to work. And all of a sudden, now that stock is something like 150. Okay? Now, let me pause real quick because it seemed like I threw out some arbitrary numbers. Let me show you something real quick. because I actually just described something. How much is a Facebook share worth today? $274. Thank you very much. $274 a share, that's pretty good. Wrong one. Pay very close attention here, sugar. Facebook started off around $17. IPO, that's independent public offering. And then in about 60 days, they dropped to $9.
Initial
initial
public
thank
offering.
you. Initial public offering. Thank you. Then they dropped down to $9. And then they had some little bad times. But guess what? Today is $274. So that means that your $9, even though you lost at first, now your $9, how many times 274? How many times 9 going to 274, Grace? Not about 30 sometimes. That means for every $1 you got, for every $9 you put in there, you get an extra 30. So if you bought 900 shares, that's 900 times 30 is what your money is now worth. 27,000. You get it, sugar? That was difficult. That was a lot in one take. I do apologize, but I got like 15 minutes left, and I'm also teaching you a master's degree in an hour. So,
can I add something, Antonio?
Yeah, please, man.
Especially for baby boomers like Sugar, if you're doing any type of investment, I would advise that, from my past experience, you do what's called a partner reference. It's almost like a character reference on the partner and the people that you're investing in. Not necessarily the company, but the people actually running the company, the people that's holding the steering wheel. And also, you don't want to invest all of everything, especially being a minority. And number one, if you're investing $10, you need to have at least $90 put away, so that when you go through the roller coaster, every business has a roller coaster ride. When you go through the roller coaster ride, you're not basically waiting for that to go up in order to feed yourself, because that's a bad situation. So if you have the ability to wait, or just wait for the next one, there's always a next one. If you don't have the money, wait for the next one, and when the next train comes, you get on the one that's for you once you've done the due diligence on the train that's coming. As far as shares, a lot of the companies, even good companies, I know I have sweat equity in a company now who's run by people who just are learning the game too, and eventually they're going to be merged in. That's why I got the equity in now. But it's basically the company is good and the shares are good, but it's the people that's running the company which is going to actually dictate the boom or the bust. Because most companies, especially minority companies, 65-70% of them are only face value. When I was shopping for the liquor business, a lot of people were telling me it's a monopolized business, and the only thing you're going to get is the face on the cereal box. In other words, if you want to be a black owner, you can be the black owner on face, but we're going to own it. You can be smart about those type of situations, like Puffy did with the Diageo brothers, a bunch of guys, local mid-level organized crime that had some Burger Kings and some things, and they started that Ciroc vodka in 2008, and they paid him $10 million or $12 million to then take on. And I met with these guys. They paid him $10 or $12 million to be the face. And Puffy was smart enough to take his brand and turn it into a multi-million dollar company, and then say, okay, on the next deal, now we're going to be partners. So now I own it. So I went from the face of the cereal box to the actual owning the actual box. And so when I say shares of the company, don't look just for the face. Find out who's actually running the company.
Yep.
Before you invest.
Another way to say this: you bet the jockey, not the horse.
There you go.
There it is. And
that goes for minority companies too. I have a cognac liquor who's run by a street dude who's trying to transition into business, and he has good industry values but bad business values. So eventually, we had to put different people in, and that's why I took the sweat equity in the company, because I know that for the company to get to where it needs to go, it has to merge on. And when it merges on, most likely, if you have street sense and no business sense, they're going to steal the whole table right from under you with a smile and leave you with a car, you know, dancing down the block because you got a car. That's usually how the business goes. So I was smart enough to take equity share within the company because of all the work that I put in, and know that you got to put the right people in place. But for baby boomers, please do not invest your last. Social Security is broke. The FDIC is broke. So if you got $90, put 10 in and turn that 10 back into another 90. But don't put the whole 90 on the horse because you got to survive with that.
That's right. That's right. And it's also why I keep telling baby boomers to invest in sales funnels. I have to be the only person out here saying that. I haven't heard anybody else say that, because sales funnels are something you can buy for $90, low investment, and then you can learn enough, just enough, to get attached to somebody with a hot product. And for $90, you can start getting back $90 a day. You see what I just did? Low risk, high reward if you put that sales funnel in the flow of a hot product. I haven't heard anybody else say that, but I've been screaming it to baby boomers as much as possible. That is what I would do should I be you. Justin and Phil brought up a fantastic point. It's why I invested in Lanita. It was not her charter. I didn't give a damn about her vision because that don't make no sense. I said, send me the business plan. Before I got home, she had the business plan to me. The business plan was well thought out. That was impressive, but that ain't why I invested. I sat with her for an hour-ish or so. Okay, I see you, sugar. I've invested with her for an hour-ish or so. And I looked at her. I looked at her husband. Because let me tell you something. If you with a negative spouse, I ain't investing in you. Shit. You crazy.
Oh.
You crazy. Because I am literally sleeping with your spouse just like you if I give you my money. I wish I had somebody right around here, Patricia. Like, I need somebody right here. If I give you my money, me and your spouse, we go together too, and your spouse gonna play with my money if they demotivate
we go together.
You want to go ahead, Chris?
Now you got me over here talking, because for the longest, I've seen videos about this too. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right, good. So, like, for the longest, I've been seeing videos and reading about that, and then just hearing you saying that as confirmation. But for the longest, I felt like your circle, or like basically any person, or even in the work position, impacts your money long term and short term. So if you're around someone who's constantly negative, or bringing down any kind of ideas and things like that, there goes your bank account. If you're around someone who constantly uplifting things like that, there goes up your bank account. But I think it's just so hard for people to disconnect, because they feel like don't shoot the messenger. They feel like that's the one when their bank account is suffering.
You're absolutely right. This is why most Mark Zuckerberg
don't pay bills.
Yeah. People like me, Mark Zuckerberg, we're very rare. Most people wouldn't invest in someone with one owner or one CEO. Typically, you like partners. You typically like partners because your weakness is staffed out, your risk. I want to de-risk my investment, basically. I want to give money but have as little risk as possible. I'm investing in Pam Norris because these CEOs would do anything it takes. Pam Norris already got more than $2 million invested in her own business with her own money. When you got $2 million in your own business, you're not going to let that business fail. That means she needs to make $2 million and $1 just to make $1 profit. Go ahead, Phil.
And Think and Grow Rich, 30 major causes of failure. Number 17, wrong selection of a mate in marriage. This is the most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless the relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Moreover, it'll be the form of failure that is marked by misery and unhappiness, destroying all signs of ambition.
Perfect way to land this plane. Okay, Harold Hale, you let Lanita know I said it myself. Hell made me say, all right, this Lanita lady, she might be all right. Okay. And then everybody just loves Lanita, and she's got, you know, a bunch of stuff. I invested in those people, not the school. Okay, not the school. Deanna, ask me this question you sent me to me properly.
All right, so Miss Patricia asks, hit the wrong button. Miss Patricia asks, if a company goes belly up, isn't there a hierarchy as to who gets money first, i.e. stock, bonds, etc.?
Absolutely, absolutely. You call that, first off, some people like, I'm first money in, first money out. You understand? At all times. Okay. That's a strategic exit contingency plan, all of them. I'm first money in, first money out. I'm the number one lien holder. I'm your bank. You understand? I'm first. So that means before you get paid, I'm getting paid. Go ahead, Phil.
You really want to be last money in, first money out.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. Definitely. Because, you know, I don't want y'all to fail. And then, I put my money in, it's a good investment, and give me my money back first. Then, of course, that's your principal, your biggest investors and stuff. Then all your shareholders will get money before you will too, should you have done that, because they have put money in. But every investment comes with a risk. You can lose. You absolutely can lose. The CEO will get their money and all that top staff, and then the employees. First employees are typically treated like CEOs because you typically give grace and Deanna, the crazy people who followed you, equity. You understand? Because you can do that. And then you give Phil and Susan, if you don't give them equity, you give them a golden parachute. Please know Phil and Susan have a golden parachute. I hope you're jealous. Be more like Phil and Susan. Okay? All right? I just need you to get that. Go ahead, sir.
People that were on the call last night, would you suggest the people that weren't on the call last night listen to the call because it brought a lot of value?
Absolutely. Sure will. All right, then. So what we'll do is, once y'all listen to the call, but also we're going to upload it and send you the link to the bureau. Okay, I want them to go to s10ep7 and watch it. But we'll send all y'all the actual link to the class so you can watch it. All right, everybody. In 4 minutes, my good friend, does everybody have the link? Yes. Everybody in front of me, do you have the link? Who does not have the link? If you don't have the link, speak now. Who doesn't?
I don't have it.
I may have it, but I don't know where to find it.
Well, fair enough. It's the Tuesday call link. It's the Tuesday call.
Can you guys make sure that Adrian gets one too, please?
All right, so let's get right now as we talking right now. Adrian, Phil, I almost said Jimmy, Justin. I don't know where Jimmy came from, bro. Okay, Justin, like right now, send it to him. We're gonna give it to you right now, and all I'm doing is doing an introduction, and I'm shutting my mouth. Okay, Shamon said send it to her too. We're gonna put it in the community group too. Wherever, if y'all in that group, look for the group. It's gonna be easy to send it to the group, but we'll send it to. All right, she said she just got Adrian. Somebody get Arshia. All right, so you got in the group. There you go. Last thing, do not be humble on this call. It ain't too many times. It's Tuesday and Friday. Don't be humble. Get your money. Take your notes. God is blessing you. Okay? The man had an oil company at 26 years old. I do $2.5 million deals. He do $250 million deals. That's why I ain't talking. I know when to shut up. Okay? This is the time. But right now, God has sent $2 billion to you to help you out. So don't be humble. Don't be sleepy. Don't multitask, and put Facebook down, because you know Facebook is going to distract you, because that's its job. All right. Tony T. Smith Jr., you can play better. You can dominate. Love everybody. We're sending this information to you right now, and we're jumping on. Y'all have a good one. I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great, and you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have, it's not what you do, it's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to leave the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich, it's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now. So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, it's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money, or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy. I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class I'm the crazy guy famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of 6-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down, and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following and my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, and that book is called The Richest Man in the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. And to be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. And that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then, as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost. I'll take the loss. And all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate.